Hi everyone, it's Paul Maunder from Production Expert, and today we'll be taking a look at the NUGEN VisLM Loudness meter. In particular, this video is aimed at anyone who is new to this plugin, but is perhaps already familiar with loudness in general, and some of the associated standards. I'm going to go over a few pointers to help you get up and running quickly with VizLM. NUGEN VisLM supports all of the common plugin formats including VST, audio units, and AAX if you're using it in Pro Tools. Being able to accurately monitor loudness within a project is critical, whether you're working on something for broadcast, a podcast, or streaming video platforms such as Netflix. First of all then, let's instantiate VizLM on the master within this project. You'll find it within the sound field category, or of course under NUGEN if you're displaying plugins by manufacturer. The first thing to note is that the plugin is resizable by dragging on this bottom right corner so you can scale it to fit your requirements. So I could make this a lot wider if I wanted. That looks quite good. I'll start some audio running in the background, and you can see that in this central part of the window, a loudness history graph is being plotted in real time. This can also show true peak events. I'll mention more about these a little bit later on. The amount of time shown within this window can be set here. The default is 30 seconds, but it can be set as low as 10 seconds or to several hours if need be. This button down here is the loudness history follow control. It determines whether or not the loudness history automatically scrolls following the playback, or shows a static view which can be useful if you want to, for example, inspect something in the loudness history. Over near the left hand side is an optional view which is the loudness distribution measured within the integrated loudness. There are several things within the interface that can be toggled on and off as needed. The loudness distribution is one of them. Just click on this letter D button to show or hide it. Also, you can toggle the history, like that, flags, which are visual indications of any high levels, and this view at the top, which is called the loudness macro overview. This is very useful, especially in larger sessions, because it gives an overview of the loudness history stored within the plugin. You can drag it left or right to locate a specific section in the loudness inspector. There are several other displays which I won't go into now, but be aware that you can see them by clicking on this little arrow button at the bottom left. Over on the right hand side is the loudness section. This displays the primary loudness meter values and controls. Some of what you see here is determined by the selected preset. To load presets, go into the options section here, click on this little menu drop down, and you'll find a comprehensive list including EBU R128, ATSC A, and Netflix stereo and 5.1 presets, along with several others. So the plugin has defaulted to the EBU R128 LUFS plus 18 preset, and going back to the meter, I can see the short term and the integrated loudness values, along with the measured loudness range. Remember that the short term is measured over a 3-second time period, and the integrated is just the total average program level. There's also a loudness bar meter here. You can show either the short term or the momentary, or both together, and you can cycle through these by clicking on this little LUFS indicator below the meter. When you're displaying either the short term or the momentary, the other value is indicated with this little white triangle next to the meter. This value at the top indicates the short term or momentary maximum value. This can be toggled by clicking on the letter. There's also a true peak section over here. This session is just stereo, but as you can see, meters are provided for multi-channel loudness measurement. You may also prefer to show both the loudness and the true peak meters together. This plus icon enables this. That's a basic overview of the plugin interface. You probably get the idea by now that VizLM really provides you with a lot of information and feedback on various aspects of the loudness of the content you're working on. I mentioned the fact that you can show true peak or alert flags. These appear when the level goes over a user-definable threshold, which you can set in preferences. We won't look in too much detail at this now, but you can see that if I ramp up the level on this track, once it hits that threshold, these red lines appear as a visual indication that we've gone over that level. I'll just stop this for a second and make a small change to a section we've already measured. One of the drawbacks to a lot of loudness meters is that if you change something, you have to then measure everything again in order to get an accurate integrated loudness measurement. But with NUGEN VisLM, you can just remeasure the part you've changed and it will factor it into the overall measurement, effectively updating the reading to take account of those changes you've made. This is dependent upon the timecode option being selected at the bottom here. So I've made a small change, and when we run that section again, you can see that this highlighted area appears, and it's remeasuring the loudness for that altered section. Once this passes, the highlight disappears, and we've got a new measurement. NUGEN VisLM is one of the most fully featured loudness meters available, and I hope that you found this video useful if you're looking to get started with it. Thanks for watching.